We're going to now take questions from the audience, and again, our candidates are going to have 1 minute to respond. And go ahead, Mr. McLeod.
I'm Vlad McBride. I'm a former member of the Assembly. I also worked with many people back in '91 to rid our community of a intolerable chemical that the government tried to impose upon us. Now I am still keeping my fingers in the pie and want to see us get rid of a very onerous and costly program. My question is, are you in favor of immediate dissolution of the IM program in this borough?
And a clarification, is that for all of the candidates?
That's for all of the candidates.
Okay, when we alternate the order a little bit, so this time we're starting with Luke Hopkins.
I'm not in favor of the immediate cessation of that program. There is a process that the borough is following to submit the actions to EPA to say that we do not need this IM program any longer, and therefore we will have a orderly cessation of the IM program. The action, I think, if we stopped it immediately, would warrant a lot of intervention by EPA, and I'm thinking that the route that we're taking right now is satisfactory for me.
Okay, now we go to, and we're going to get to you, Mark, but you're going to be the last one now, we're reversing the order. We're going to go to seat C, Billy Blanchard.
I'd like to say that I agree with Luke that orderly is where we want to go. We want to make sure that we follow the rules so we can't come back and give us issues later.
Thank you. Now we go to Wolfgang Clark.
Well, I'm a fan of everyone, and I would say as soon as possible because it is really not necessary anymore. Most of those vehicles we are having running around now, they don't need it. They have some program that makes them not run if they don't work. I think it is just a hassle. And one thing might be that those people that invested a lot of money in that equipment, that they might get some kind of a credit or something for their investment which they cannot utilize. That would be the only thing, but that needs to be discussed. But I like to get rid of it as soon as possible. Actually, I don't have to worry about it because I just got mine passed, but for another 2 years. But I think we should just quit the thing.
Thank you very much. And now we go to Tammy Wilson.
Well, I am on the IM committee, and I'm really excited because we are in the process of getting rid of it. And on the 25th, there will be a public hearing right here from 6:30 to 9 that everyone on either side can go. And what else is that we have pushed the EPA, instead of taking 18 months to go over it, they're going to take 13 months. So it is getting pushed and squeezed together more and more because we have shown with the numbers that it's outdated now, and it's time for a change. And that I do believe we do have to go through these steps because right now there are a lot of lawsuits right now for people who just quit. But I'm excited that Anchorage has decided to do the same thing, and I think if we group together, it's going to be the best benefit for the state and the residents, and I'm excited that we are really squeezing that timeline together and hope to squeeze it just a little bit more.
One more time on that date, the 25th?
The 25th is on a Tuesday night, 6:30 to 9,
6:30.
right here.
Okay, very good. Now we're going to go to Assembly Candidate Day Miles.
Yes, I'm in favor of removing that. It costs people a lot of money. It started out where it was just $20 and then they're going to privatize it instead of having the government do it. Now it's $20 on top of a bunch of other fees. Wouldn't it be great if we had free tune-ups like at a high school shop where anybody could go in and get a tune-up for their car to reduce costs, to reduce pollution, so they could save money on gas? So that's the type of proactive thing we need to do to help people save money. Just like helping people insulate their homes, helping people tune up their cars so they can save on gas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we go to Vice
Yes, just in the nick of time, I found it in the borough ad here. The next assembly meeting 2 nights from now, there's going to be an ordinance by Mr. Bartos to be advanced to September 27th, which would be the following meeting. ordinance 2007-58, which does away with the, sunsets the IM program as of January 1st, 2009. And I would hope, since we've been in compliance, air quality-wise, for several years at least, I would hope we could speed that up. I'm going to work pretty hard, especially if I get on the assembly again, to speed that up. But anyway, that ordinance says January 2009, and I'd love to see it, 6 months ahead of that. There has to be some preliminary work done, lad, but let's speed it up if we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we go to Martha.
Thank you. I'm very much in favor of doing away with the IM program, and I don't think that even if we wanted to dissolve it tomorrow, it's going to happen, but I would think within the next year or two, it's certainly going to be gone in the borough, and we won't have that requirement anymore. I think that whatever we do, that we'll a note of caution to the owners of those IM, I guess they're called stations, so that they can have some time to get rid of them and sell them so that they don't have a big loss on them. So I think we can shorten the timeline. I saw that the period of time that the EPA is going to look at it is about 13 or 14 months. I think if we pressure them, we can get that down to at least 6. And I think we can get rid of it pretty soon. But, we need to protect those business owners that have already purchased all that equipment so they have time to get rid of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the last candidate will be Mark Ames.
Yes, Mr. McBride, I do concur with you, and I would, yes, work for the elimination of the program as soon as possible. I also support the ouster of incumbents in Assembly Seat B and I. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to go to Randy for a
No follow-up comment?
Well, if it's brief, please. We'd like to get everybody to ask the first question.
Very briefly, I'd like to point out that most of these instruments have been subsidized by the government. And to put it off, we've heard that story over and over again. I'd say as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. McBride. Go ahead, Randy.
About 2 months ago, the Borough Assembly passed a landscape ordinance, and I guess it's probably similar to the City of Fairbanks' landscape ordinance. Assembly person Valerie can fill me in on that because she was the sponsor of that, but I believe it applies to apartments that have 4 or more units. I think it applies to parking lots, not existing ones, but if you expand them or work on them or do something more to them. And so I think it involves telling board or something how big trees are, what all the type of vegetation you're going to have, and maybe involves hiring a landscape architect or something like that. Anyway, what do you think about the landscape ordinance? Is this something the borough needs? Are there any downsides? Do you think it's helpful? Thank you.
And that's for all the candidates?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Randy. We're going to start with Billy Blanchard this time.
Thank you. As a